For over 2 decades, the British Broadcasting Cooperation (BBC) has dominated airwaves across the world.
Now, the idea was to make sure that the British people had an infrastructure for public information.
According to the head of sales and marketing at UBC, Odoki, what is started from Britain was later embraced by the rest of the world, including Africa.
Being a public broadcaster means that you should be able to cater for every interest.
Uganda not being exceptional, having formed its national broadcaster in the early 50s, its job was only one.
Unlike Kenya and Tanzania, Kenya Broadcasting was born in 1963. In Uganda, Radio Uganda was born in 1953. Now, it remained a department under different ministries: information, Office of the President, Prime Minister's Office, now ICT and National Guidance. That happened until 1963 when UTV was born.
Odoki asserts to the fact that with the evolution of private media in Uganda in the 1980s, the government-owned media houses had a dry test.
You could no longer afford to take the viewers for granted. You cannot afford to take the audience for granted. You needed to improve on the quality of the service that you give. You needed to improve on the quality of the content that you give.
He notes that for the dark days came when government of Uganda liberalized the economy.
Many people could now switch because you had liberty to move from one station to another. So you are no longer confined to watching only one station, maybe UTV, which we used to watch then.
For government of Uganda took a path of capitalizing UTV and Radio Uganda through the 2005 UBC Act, to which many asserts need to be respected.
UBC Act spells out the mandate of a public service broadcaster, that is UBC. Number one, to develop a broadcast infrastructure across the country. Number two, to make sure that every citizen is able to receive information.
Although the UBC Act 2005 had a component and clause of TV tax, for years it has not been respected.
Now, one key area where UBC was supposed to be funded was through the TV tax.
It is therefore revealed that for close to 10 years since 2005, government of Uganda only sent 10 billion shillings to the national broadcaster.
At the time that UBC was formed, UBC had very old equipment from Radio Uganda and from UTV. Now, to get this to meet the current pace at which technology is developing, you cannot do that with that kind of budget.
With neighbors like Kenya, who funds the public broadcaster with 27 billion shillings per year, Tanzania Broadcasting Cooperation pocketing 40 billion shillings annually, Uganda remains the poor facilitators to the state media, having received at one time shillings 1 billion every year.
So as a result of that, we don't have a way out but to turn to government, which is actually the owner of UBC.
And now, President Kaguta Museveni's directive to monopolize government adverts to UBC is a move being welcomed.
And believe you me, if at all the president meant that it should be so, perhaps he can be persuaded to understand that there is need to support the private sector.
According to William Odoki, it is written in black and white that UBC needs funds as of yesterday. Robert Nyango, UBC News.